This is ASMR Developer, and today I will be talking about object-oriented programming in C Sharp. Of course, you don't have to apply this to every language. I mean, you don't. It's not just for C Sharp. You can use any type of language as long as they do support object-oriented programming. So, what is object-oriented programming and how it can help you is what I'm gonna describe here. By the way, I'm sorry that there are so many cars passing by, but I didn't want to wait for the night so that car can disappear, but unfortunately, we have to bear with this. Okay, I'll try to mute as much as I can when I hear a truck or bus passing by, so I'm sorry about the interruptions. Okay, so let's start. As you know, one of the main the reasons why we are having this object-oriented mentality is the same mentality behind all the other concepts and practices. We want to be able to write maintainable code, and the code that we can understand and we can read and we can share. So, by the way, like we have different measures. Like for instance, we can say if a code is readable and reasonably extendable, and then we call it maintainable. Okay, and so I can give you a lot of information about like different practices, but we don't need them. This is just for object-oriented, and so object-oriented meaning is like we in our daily lives we already deal with objects and we know them very well. Almost everything is an object in our lives. So programmers decided to copy the same logic we are already familiar with into our programming world. So that way we can understand our code better and we can write and maintain our code better. So let's talk about an example. Let's say you want to write an application for a bank. So what bank does is they keep a record of accounts. They have functions like deposit money or withdraw money and so on. I'm just talking about the user-facing side of a bank application. So you log in, for instance, and you check your balance, deposit money, withdraw money, let's say, or talk to an agent, whatever. So in object-oriented programming, of course, I'm gonna show you the actual examples. We represent an account as an object, similar to like a blueprint and the actual object. In real world, we do have a similar thing in programming too. For instance, we do have classes, which I'm gonna show you what a class is. But the class is actually a structured blueprint, so it tells you what an object is. That's pretty much all. And you create objects from that blueprint, which we call class. And let's say you have an account object, great, and you may want to say, hey, on this account, I want to like withdraw money and deposit money, and it should also contain information about the person, the account owner. Alright, so all those things, great. But you may also want to say, hey, I do have accounts like checking account, savings account, and so on, and which is good. But at that moment, you will hit a point where you say, hey, I do have a function, but I don't care what type of account they're passing me. For instance, you may want to change, you may want to have apply some logic, some algorithm to any type of account. And the problem happens here is if you don't if you don't treat all those accounts like savings and checkings as an account, then you have to write a code that should be able to work individually with different account types. And you don't want that. Why? Because it means more code, it means more maintenance, it means more time, money, effort. So what I said before is there are two important goal of our programming as a developer is write a dry code. Dry is an acronym and it means don't repeat yourself. So we don't want to repeat ourselves, because each time we repeat ourselves we create a different point for maintenance, and we don't want that. Of course there are cases where you may want to do that, but I assume we live in an ideal world, so let's continue from there. And okay, so let's keep the talking last and write some code. But before I finish, you have to know that what makes an account is an account. What makes an account? So what makes an account, and the way you check it is, if let's say if something walks like a dog and barks like a dog and acts like a dog, and you say, okay, this is a dog. So you basically checked some of the properties and actions of that object to decide whether it's a dog or not. It is the similar idea here as well. You look at a dog, you look at something, and you say, okay, this is it meets all my criteria. So it is it's an account. So if you see an object which can accept a deposit or allow you to withdraw your money and store some information about you, and you say, okay, this is an account object, this is what we call contract, and inheritance is important here. So we use inheritance, and for instance, inheritance is used a lot in the classification of humans, animals, plants, whatever. And you say something is animal, but lion is animal, dog is an animal, cat is an animal, and you basically say, okay, lion inherits from an animal, but lion may have different attributes than a cat or dog, but that's not the case. They're all animals, and lion may have different classes underneath, like, I don't know, short lions, African lions, if there is American lions, I don't care. But yeah, what I'm saying is, lion can also have different sub-lions, and therefore, inheritance plays a role here. So, alright, let's go ahead and write some code. By the way, I am using a mechanical keyboard, which is DOS Keyboard Professional 4, and it has blue switches, so you will hear some noise. I'm sorry if you cannot bear with mechanical keyboards, but I think it is lovely, so I'm just gonna go with them. Alright, let's go and write some code, guys. So, if you look at my screen here, you'll see I have a program, and I'm gonna go ahead and write a class so that we can see what a class means. So let's say okay, is too loud, so I'm just gonna. I don't know what I should do, but yeah. So animal. Sorry, animal. And I don't know what an animal has, but let's actually use account. So account will have like this is by the way C# syntax, so sorry about that if you don't know it, but it is just a C# syntax. I'm just defining a property that I can set. Private. I'm just gonna say int double. Yes, so let's do it. Never mind. Alright, let's go ahead and add some functions here. process simply. And now I can do like I can set the balance. I cannot set the balance. It's but I can now like deposit money.